Hello everyone. Thanks for joining the learning journey. Please remember to like and share this video and subscribe. Now let's get to our topic for this week. Should crimes in the metaverse be illegal? Critical reflection. I am sure you will find this topic interesting. While Rohan has described what is the metaverse in a previous video, let me just give a short definition. The metaverse brings together a fascinating realism within a virtual environment where individuals can socialize, attend functions, or even watch a movie. This realism is based on two essential principles for virtual reality, which include virtual presence and virtual realism. Virtual presence allows the person in the virtual environment to have a sense that they are in the environment. When users are part of the environment, they can have most of the senses associated with the real world. In addition, they can act in this virtual world seamlessly. The next principle is virtual realism. This allows the virtual world participant to be psychological and emotionally immersed in the alternative environment. While there is an emerging body of work regarding the metaverse, we can use research on students who played video games to foresee the impact of virtual criminality. Bearing in mind, these video games may be less immersive than what the metaverse promises. The metaverse will create an experience so real, it may be difficult to differentiate the real world from the virtual world. In one research by Brad Bushman and his researchers, they suggest that students who played violent games for 20 minutes for 3 consecutive days were more hostile and less compassionate to other students who did not play these games. According to Sally Davies, it should be noted that several mass shooters were obsessive gamers. However, some research has also indicated that interactive violent games will not increase violence in the real world. I guess the debate will continue and will require greater research in this area. The metaverse will be more immersive and will embody the users to feel that they are part of the environment. Users will feel that they are also part of the hardware being used. In addition, emotions will be part of the process. In these spaces, someone could decide that they do not want to hear or see someone in this space, or just don't like that person's avatar and decides to engage in adverse aggression in the space, which results in the virtual killing of the person they dislike. Although the user who is attacked is physically alive, the question is what is the impact of the aggressor's action on the victim? On reflection, while no physical harm was done in this case, there could be the element of fear by the victim which could transcend into the real world. With these possibilities in mind, it is worth the while researching and setting guidelines within the community. I would say, any aggressive or violent behavior in the virtual space should have consequences. Let's not forget that the metaverse will be a mirror of our society. For our society to have balance, there must be consequences for undesirable actions. The metaverse will offer the opportunity for everyone on this planet to engage. As a result, there will be a blend of cultures, ideologies, and perceptions. What is deemed politically correct in one country could be deemed as unlawful in another. How will these issues be addressed? The key question is, who will monitor these spaces? There is also the possibility of virtual identity theft. Can this be a crime? Well, it is possible for someone to steal someone's identification in a virtual space. This person could also continue to defraud the person's assets or plant discord that could eventually lead to hate speech. Which brings me to my next question. Should users of the metaverse be allowed to say anything that comes to mind based on the notion of free speech or fabricated content? The reality is users of the metaverse may very well find themselves in lawsuits if their actions are deemed unlawful in the virtual world. However, for this to take place, current laws will need to be reviewed. I believe that EU countries have designed laws to address unlawful acts within the virtual space, and the rest of the world will need to follow. We do not want our children to be exposed to illegal illicit sexual content in the real world. If this takes place in our schools or other public spaces, this would be deemed criminal. Therefore, the same should be applied to the metaverse. However, the issue is, do we have laws in countries to ensure that the perpetrators will be punished for their actions? However, one issue that is currently leading intense debate is that an actual event in a virtual space can't be compared to a physical action. For example, a woman who is sexually assaulted in a virtual reality space will have no physical harm. Notwithstanding, the metaverse will be more immersive, therefore the realism of the act could impact the victim in their physical space. To say there is no physical harm could be misleading based on the psychological harm. It should be noted that all criminal acts committed in the real world can take place in the virtual world. Importantly, greater research will be required to ensure perpetrators and victims' mental status are understood. Who knows, there may be a new field of study titled Metaverse Forensic Psychology on the horizon. I started the presentation with 2 key principles of the metaverse: presence and realism. The metaverse of the future will seem so real that users will make seamless transition to the real world. At times, some users will not be able to make these transitions seamlessly. Therefore, again, I make the call for laws to be implemented to safeguard users of these technologies. However, greater investments are needed to establish how crimes in the metaverse can affect users in real life. Until there is a peer-reviewed body of work available and laws implemented to guide users, then we will all need to be careful as we engage in this emerging technology. Thanks for listening. Let me pass it over to Rohan.
Thanks, Aaliyah, for that wonderful presentation. And I know you are aware that Aaliyah is an AI presenter. Of course, I do a lot of work on the back end, so that is what I'm trying to do, to mix it up to show you how technology can be used at the same time as I present. Now, we are in a stage that we must consider movements as it relates to AR, VR, of course, extended reality, and the metaverse, which is going to encompass us in an immersive world. I came across several articles that I will share in my description section for this video. Please use them to find out other information regarding where we should go as it relates to the law. One particular paper that I will highlight in my summary is the paper written by Mark and Eugene. They're both scholars from the University of Pennsylvania, and they highlighted some wonderful points that we must consider. For example, they position the question, how will VR, AR, and of course we're thinking about the metaverse now, consider or treat street crimes, such as disturbing the peace in the virtual environment? And of course, how will we address situations like indecent exposure? In addition, they have also positioned the question, how will we address lawsuits within the AR environment as well as VR, as well as external? So these issues must be addressed. So they have to really consider that. You know, you have external operators, you're going to have internal operators, and how are these issues going to be addressed? Another point they came up with is the issue of individuals suing other users within the space. For example, someone saw your image and duplicates your image or takes an artifact from your image to position themselves. So there might be issues as it relates to copyright. So that must be addressed too. They also point out the need to address privacy issues, and that is going to be a major part as we move forward, as indicated earlier in the presentation. These are just some of the thoughts that are hanging around there. I've posted a few links in the description section of this video. Please use them. They will give you a deeper understanding of why we need to establish laws, guidance, protocols as we move forward in developing our virtual worlds. Thanks, and please remember to subscribe.